as much as they want because both teams are good and that game to be those two.
Kyle, you're not feeling this?
Jason knows I'm not feeling that.
Kyle and I have already had this argument.
Yeah.
You hate that I feel
What else was on the WB back then? What else did I miss?
You probably saw the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah.
The Jamie Foxx show. Come on now, Craig. Come on, Craig. You know the Jamie Foxx show?
No.
You know
This is Sunday Karma, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Here's GKB founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
Hey, it's been a while.
Hey, you. How are you?
What's going on, man? It's a tough week.
Oh, who you telling?
Tough week for the Milwaukee Brewers. Man. We compared this team a bunch this year to last year's Packers team. You know, we said that it was a year early or an unexpected run or expected to finish last in the division, and here they are leading the division. And the Brewers ended up being the most dominant division leader throughout the year. I mean, the Phillies and Dodgers also in the National League dominated their divisions, but I mean, the Brewers led wire to wire. The Brewers then lost Christian Yelich, right? And we didn't know that how that was going to impact them, a team that was going to be already without a few of their best arms, you know, through most of the year. It was a team that then saw Jackson Chourio become, I think, what we were hoping Jackson Chourio would have been next year or the year after, which is kind of what I think we saw from Jordan Love, right? The way Jordan Love played the last 8-9 weeks of the season is how Jackson Chourio played from June through October, not just June through September, June through October in terms of what he ended up doing. And then the Brewers make it to the postseason. And as you get into the postseason, there was game one that felt very much to the fans in the building. And I was disappointed in the fans in the building. Were you at game one, Kyle?
I was not. I was there in spirit while watching on television.
So game one, I felt like was very disappointing to see the fans' reaction. The Brewers had just a really fluke 5-run inning that they give up, you know, that ends up losing the game. I mean, they came out on fire. First 3-4 guys get hits. Brewers are up 2-0. They go down 3-2, but they get back up 4-3. They end up total fluke. They don't run the play where the pitcher covers first base well, right?
It happened the next game, too.
Yeah. Well, that was the throw, right? The error on the pitcher there. But, I mean, so they give up 5 runs. The crowd, like, kind of leaves. And this had been a 4 o'clock start. So, crowd disappointed, and it felt like, here we go again. Brewers postseason. We're in it every year, but we can't do anything once we're in it, right? And it's been a few years now since the Brewers have advanced in a postseason. So I understand.
So almost a decade.
No.
2017, 2018.
2018.
That's more than 5 years, Craig.
It's not almost a decade.
Your daughter was in elementary school. Now she's dang near an adult.
So the Brewers lose game one. Game two, probably of all the games in the series, had the most uncomfortable flow for the Brewers because game one felt like it was in hand until that 5-run inning. Game two, pretty uncomfortable flow. Brewers down 3-1, battle back to 3-2. They had been down 1-0 actually in the top of the first inning when Chourio hits the home run. Chourio hits his second game-tying home run of the game. Not of the series, not of the season, not of the game. in the bottom of the 8th inning after, Turang had, gotten another extra base hit, which Bryce Turang was excellent throughout this series. Chourio homers 3-3. And what could be more like the majority of this Brewers season, where everything just seemed to work out? This manager managed extremely well throughout this season. Right? We're going to stick with that right now. Garrett Mitchell, who had come in as a pinch runner and got caught stealing. Could there be a worse scenario? You bring in a guy to pinch run and he gets caught stealing, hits the 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th, and the Brewers end up winning because Devin Williams, smooth as silk, 10 pitches. 10 pitches for Devin Williams. 8 of them strikes. 10 pitches, 8 of them strikes for Devin Williams. Bottom of the order, he gets through 7, 8, 9. Now, through 2 games, what was the single biggest criticism you had heard of the Brewers? Through 2 games, tied at 1.
I don't. Not scoring enough runs. I have no idea. Or the errors. I mean, the criticism was. I guess that was.
Through 2 games, the biggest criticism was that Pat Murphy had pulled Freddie too early in Game 1.
Oh,
right?
Yes, yeah, Mr. Tobias Myers on Game 3.
But I'm saying that was the knock, right?
Yeah.
That he had pulled Freddie too early in Game 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just stick with this. So we go to Game 3. Game 3, tension, no runs. By the way, only one guy on the Mets with a hit through the first 8 innings of the game.
2 hits from Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
That's it.
The only guy who had gotten a hit. And we're talking about tension. We're talking about no score. We're scoreless through God Bless America and roll out the barrel, right? We're tied at 0, bottom of the 7th. Brewers have gotten scoreless innings from 2 relievers after Myers gives the outing of his life, right? That 5-inning, 5-strikeout, 2-hit, start for Myers. Best and most meaningful outing of his career at this point. So Brewers then light up American Family Field. Back-to-back home runs from, I don't want to call it the unlikeliest guys on the roster.
Come on, Craig. Jake Bowers.
You're saying
he unlikely
right.
to take the lead.
Oh yeah, I mean the guy didn't hit 200 this year. He did have double-digit home runs,
but unlikely guy
right.
in that moment. And then a guy who only had 2 home runs
right.
the whole year.
Sal Frelick, 2 home runs the whole year. He goes yard. Brewers up 2-0, and then all of a sudden, coming in for the 8th inning, Freddie Peralta. Oh, okay. Maybe Pat Murphy's terrible call in Game 1 is going to work out.
Oh wow, you called it terrible. So you were
no, I didn't
Freddie.
think it was, but I'm saying fans who were saying that.
Okay.
Maybe his terrible call is going to work out. Or those same fans were there saying, "Oh, you can't bring Freddie in. He doesn't know how to pitch in relief. He's not a relief pitcher."
They should have been saying, "Oh,
right.
I see what Pat was doing."
Right. So Freddie handles the bottom of the order really easily, right? Doesn't strike anyone out, but gets through that really easily. So Brewers then, again, unfortunately, can't add to, that 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 8th, Adames strikeout, Sanchez grounds out, Bauer strikes out, Edwin Diaz just kind of plows through. Now, you really look at where they had the opportunity. Bottom of the 7th, Turang walked, Chourio flies out, Perkins walks after the 2 home runs. So you did have 2 guys on for Contreras, who strikes out bottom of the 7th. Contreras had a rough series.
Bad knee.
Yeah.
Very bad knee.
Yeah, definitely fighting through it, and not a great series for him. So you go to the 9th, and you bring in Devin Williams. So now, of course, in retrospect, there's those people who are going to be like, Freddie looked so good. You got to pitch Freddie 2 innings.
Can I ask you, were you thinking all we got to do is get this 2-0 lead to Devin Williams and we're going on to the next round?
Oh, once it was a 2-run lead, I felt so good about it.
I said we just got to get to Freddie.
You mean to Devin?
Devin, got to get to Devin, and seeing the way that everybody pitched, the intensity, like when the pitchers came on, the relief pitchers came on, and they legitimately, when they got out the innings and they're like pumping their chest, they're screaming, they're yelling, you feel the moment. You feel exactly how they basically know this is a big moment for this team to get through this. The confidence was there, Craig. I said, just get us to Devin.
And everything that Pat Murphy did this season, this series, I don't want to hear that this had anything to do with Pat Murphy. The equation worked. The process worked. The roster worked. Everything worked. Because you look at what was going on then. You get there with a 2-run lead. What does that mean, Kyle? I'm pulling it up. That meant you were at 90.6%. 90.6, actually, you were at 93.3%. You were at 93.3% before the Lindor walk. By the way, you were still at 90.6% after the Vientos strikeout. But that walk was terrible. Now, I know the argument is Lindor almost swung on the 3-2 pitch, right? He barely checked his swing, but in that spot, a home run is as bad as a walk to Lindor, right? I mean, his run can't hurt you. Like, the idea of if he scores or whatever, it's the same. You can't let him on base. And again, you don't want to give him a home run, obviously. You don't want to give up anything.
He let him on base.
What?
Devin just had an off night. I don't think Devin's intention was.
I know, but you're pitching.
Do you think he was pitching around Francisco Lindor? I mean, he didn't want to give him. I mean, Francisco had been the best hitter.
He's Francisco Lindor. He had the 2 hits. Yeah. I think, to me, that was the thing. Everyone's talking about the tipping pitches. Everyone's talking about all these different things. To me, it's that leadoff walk. At least be in the strike zone. At least, make him get on base. I mean, he could hit a hard ball that could be an out, right? I mean, how many times do we see that? We see that constantly in baseball. You put the tying run on base, it opens up so many things. You get the Vientos strikeout, Nemo gets the walk, or gets the hit, and then Alonso hits the opposite field home run. And then I think Bob Uecker nailed it. I mean, all I was thinking in that bottom of the inning is, if we can just somehow, and by the way, Devin Williams then gives up a lot more, right?
He gave up another run.
It didn't end with the home run. It was
Sterling Marte, I think, got a hit to send somebody home. It was sad, Craig. It really was. It sucks. I don't know about you. I mean, you're a Brewer fan as well. And, the dejectedness I felt when that happened and when the game ended, how do you blame Brewers fans for feeling the way they felt after Game 1, Craig? I mean, this is a story that we continue to see.
I understand after Game 1, but not during Game 1. That's my knock. My only knock on Brewers fans was, you can't all leave the game in the 7th inning at 6:30 at night to beat the traffic. Stop it. That was a terrible job by Brewers fans.
I agree.
Brewers fans have had a lot of tough defeats, but that's what postseason baseball is about. Brewers fans bounced back really well as a fan base in games 2 and 3. And I was, and by the way, I'm not going to knock for the empty seats that were there. It was quick turnaround. Major League Baseball is a terrible job by Major League Baseball. Not
empty seats. What game? What?
Every game.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
game 3.
The game times weren't set till 5 minutes before. Like, they didn't have they didn't say if Game 3. You didn't know if it was going to be a 2:00 game or a night game until when the Padres game ended at 10:00 at night the night before.
Yeah, they probably should do a better job.
So how are people gonna figure out their lives? People have work, people have kids, people have all sorts of things. So a good job by the Brewers fans filling up the stadium the way they did and supporting the team the way they did in Games 2 and Games 3 without a lot a lot of
Beat up
prep
time,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So no knock on a good job by the Brewers fans there. Game 1, I didn't like how they gave up as quickly as they did. But going into that bottom of the 9th, even down 4-2, it was like Jackson Chourio has something so special going on that if he comes to the plate as the tying run, he's either going to get walked, keep the inning going, or could he actually tie this game? So
We'll
Bryce,
never know.
So after Ortiz strikes out with a runner on first, and I was almost happy that he struck out, because I was like, all right, thank God. No double play there. I was worried about the double play. Now we got Turang up. Turang can't hit into a double play because he runs so fast. He's not a double play guy. So now we're good. So either Turang's gonna get a hit, a walk, a something, but no matter what, Jackson's coming up as the tying run here in the bottom of the 9th. And that's what Euchre, I think, just nailed, is just like the odds and the possibility. Like the only way that could have happened was like that exact ball hit that hard. I mean, just the worst way to end, right? Like if you could have just gotten Jackson up. And the Brewers lose 2-1. They lose game 3, 4-2. In just what was a fantastic 2024 Milwaukee Brewers season. A season that was unexpected. Pat Murphy did a great job. Matt Arnold did a fantastic job. And these players were just great. I mean, it didn't feel like they were so like fluky this year. Like, who are the guys who you're like, oh, there's no way he could ever play like this again. This, you never saw this coming. This was
Tobias Myers
impossible.
was one of them.
Yeah.
Colin Ray, another one.
But
I mean,
but there
everybody
were
else
other guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's a ton of guys, like, I mean, Sal Frelick, I don't think he had like the year I would have expected him to have.
He definitely didn't. I see what you're saying when it comes
I'm
to
saying this was not a fluke. This wasn't like a, oh my God, everyone had the most amazing seasons. I think it was, wow, this team is just really well built. Because, I mean, the bullpen was fantastic all year, right?
Which, shout out to Matt Arnold and shout out to David Stearns, who is with the Mets now, for basically creating a system of where they're looking for hard throwing arms. And, like, this is what they've been able to develop and what they've been able to look for, which has benefited us in our bullpen for the past couple of years.
But Tobias Harris and Freddie Peralta were Tobias Myers.
Are you drafted by the Bucks?
I'm getting in NBA mode already. Tobias Myers and Freddie Peralta were, in terms of wins over replacement, were 2.7 and 2.6 to lead the pitching staff.
No, I feel great.
Which is great. But I'm saying it's not like anyone was like, oh my God, they had an MVP season that, you know, is not going to be replicated. I mean, Willy Adames was fantastic throughout this year. Willy Adames,
every game. So, I mean, that's what happens when you have, and you're a really good player.
Willy Adames was clutch. He was Mr. 3-run home run. Contreras was great. Turang didn't end up hitting that well this year, but
Did he come down? I thought Turang ended up in the 270s. Did he not? Because he was tearing it up.
254.
So he
only a 316 on base percentage. Only a 685 OPS.
He came down.
665 OPS, but still a 4.6 wins over replacement above replacement because he is so good defensively. He stole 50 bases. That stuff's not going away. And that's the thing about this team, right? Like, I don't want to say that the arrow is pointing up on the Brewers because I think that would be an unfair expectation.
Oh, malarkey, baloney. It should be the expectation.
No.
The arrow should be pointing up.
No.
How do you say that, Craig?
Because this team won 93 games this year. So there's no way I'm going to predict that this team's going to win more than that next year.
Well, this should be who they are.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
This should be who they are.
Exactly. The beauty of how this team is built is this year was not a fluke. As a Brewers fan, you can feel so confident that the Brewers will end up probably making more of a run at Willy Adames than we think, and maybe end up not getting him. But whatever the case ends up being, I think you have a really, really good feel going into next year that this team has the exact opportunity to be right back where they were this year. And we saw it. Like, even the Astros, who never lose in the playoffs, They lost in the playoffs this year. I mean, once you get into these little 2-game, 3-game series, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. And obviously, it didn't go the way the Brewers wanted. But this team's arrow is not going down from 93 wins. This team's arrow, to me, is that they are built to be exactly what they were this year. And I don't think they were even built to be it this year, which is what, again, the comparison to the Packers, right? They were a year ahead. But now, next year, they can really wear those clothes that they did this year, and they should fit, because this team is built for another run. And by the way, it's going to be painful. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be exhilarating. But that's the beauty and that's the fun of postseason baseball. And there are 26 other major league cities. That was bad math. I don't know exactly how many teams there are and how many make it. But there are a lot of other major league cities that would have loved to have had the Brewers postseasons over the last 7 years. So, again, congratulations to the 2024 Milwaukee Brewers. This was a terrible, terrible way to end a fantastic, fantastic year. We'll talk some football and more Brewers as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Frank Daniels, our Madison Goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we will professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey you, daydreaming about that perfect house again? Hi, it's John Reeds from Great Midwest Bank, and whether your dream includes buying or building or renovating your current home, I'm happy to report that mortgage rates are finally starting to turn around. So make those dreams a reality with a custom-fit Great Midwest Bank mortgage product. We've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for nearly 90 years. Find a local experienced loan officer at GreatMidwestBank.com. We can't wait to get started. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Give your home a beautiful makeover with help from Menards. Update any room with flooring from Tarkett. From easy-to-install sheet vinyl and waterproof vinyl plank to durable laminate flooring, Tarkett has a perfect flooring option for you. Nautical Escape laminate flooring is beautiful with its realistic hardwood design. It's waterproof, making it an ideal choice for active households. Visit Menards.com to shop our great selection of Tarkett flooring, plus other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids. It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Daniel Holub at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doctor, let's say someone is feeling some pain. That pain, it just will not go away. What's the next thing that person should do?
Get an appointment with one of the specialists at Orthopedic Associates, and we will work through that problem with you.
In your position, you help people get rid of pain. You help them be able to move and be active again. How rewarding is it for you to really see someone regain a certain quality of life?
That's got to be the best part of my job, is seeing somebody that's been struggling either for a short time with a fresh injury or a long time with a degenerative condition, and being able to find a proper solution for them, whether it's just a rehabilitation process or if it's a surgical process, and watching them over the course of weeks to months improve to the point of enjoying life again.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
800-990-ESPN. It's 800-990-3776. Talking about the end of the 2024 Brewers season. Steven says, I disagree with you on the Brewers, Craig. Brewers are built for the regular season, not for the playoffs. Pitching, especially starting pitching, is so-so. Yelich injured again. Players, batters with sub-200 averages. That comes from Steven. And I just don't see it. Now, the argument would be that I think we all thought the Mets was the best matchup that you could see. But I don't know. Were the Diamondbacks built for it last year, but they aren't this year, and that's why they didn't make the playoffs? Are the Astros built for it, but now they're not? Like, I think these are like coin tosses. And this year's Brewers got themselves into the position they needed to be. The starting pitching was good enough. Starting pitching is so-so. I kind of agree, right? If you look at over the course of the year. But I mean, the starting pitchers were excellent. The Brewers' bullpen was its strength. So you basically had the starters do what they needed to do to get you to the bullpen. You had one fluke inning in game one, and you have Devin Williams blow it. But this is the equation. This is how a small market, $112 million, whatever the payroll is, team wins. Sure, I don't think you're going to win going away, but, you know, you look at the Tigers, and okay, the Tigers got some great starting pitching. And the Tigers had to catch lightning in a bottle to be in this postseason, right? Like, there's so much that needs to happen right. And to win 90-plus games the way this team did, and to have a 2-run lead for your closer in an elimination game, to me means this team was absolutely built the right way to advance in this postseason. And I'm not going to make
I don't think you didn't believe that this team, I mean, the performance and the way it was
By the way, are we comparing the Devin Williams inning to Jordan Love's last interception against the 49ers? Or are we not going there?
No, this was worse than that. This was much worse. This is a established reliever of the year before in the past.
Yeah, and this is your winning by 2. I'm just saying it was like the worst moment of the year for Jordan Love. One of his worst of the year was that, and Devin Williams had 2 outings like that the whole year, and one of them happens to be in the biggest moment of the year for the Brewers. Jason Wilde joins us as we roll on. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Fall is here, and it's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows. And remember, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services in cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
I take care of my bone health, so I remain strong and active as I age. You can too. It is never too early or too late to start taking care of your bones. Bones provide support to keep you moving. Maintain bone strength at every age by getting calcium and vitamin D in your diet and exercising regularly. Get on your own path to good bone health. For bone health tips, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, big NFL day and a lot of Brewers talk as Dave chimes in. Steven is off his rockers. Woody, Wade, Gasser, all aces out for the playoffs. Brewers do have a postseason.
Wait, name those three again?
Woody, Wade, Gasser.
Those are aces.
Arms.
Okay. I didn't know 38-year-old.
37, Wade Miley, if you're talking about him.
Okay, 37. I'm sorry.
38 next year. We bring in Jason Wilde, who is also recovering. Jason, did you get to see just a bit outside? A lot of people talking about that movie as I ran around American Family Field the last week.
I did, and I would say two of those three names are either guys who have been an ace or could very well be an ace, right? I mean, I understand Wade Miley's old, but he also won some pretty big ball games in his first tenure with the Brewers, right? So
yeah,
those are three pretty big names, but it's a long list of guys that they were without, and they still were very much in position to advance. So it's a tough deal. Yeah, just a bit outside is great, and Tausch surprised me and asked Robin Yount to come on the show the day of Game 3 when two of my college buddies had an extra ticket and I wasn't able to go. But I just feel for so many people that care so much about the Brewers' success. And watching, the one thing that got me emotional was seeing Christian Yelich after the game talking with tears welling up in his eyes about Bob Uecker. That was the gut punch emotionally for me.
Yeah, Uke and Jeff Levering, both super emotional.
The farewell at the end of the broadcast by Levering was incredibly emotional. I love Jeff. He's such a terrific guy and has become a good friend. And like I said, you hurt for the people that hurt that much.
Yeah. Uke was there for Game 3, and everything seemed right in the world until it wasn't. Just before we get into Packers stuff, Aaron Jones out with a hip injury for the rest of the game today. Kind of recurring thing with Aaron Jones' injury, but coming off last week, I mean, this is a Vikings team that is now poised to be 5-0. And you and I talked about this, like, hey, let's not just 100% write off what this Vikings team could be before the year starts. But I guess to talk about both of those things, Aaron Jones and what he's done, and maybe the kind of decision around him being injury prone and all that, and then how surprising it could be to see the Vikings sitting at 5-0.
Yeah, Aaron Jones looked really good until he left with that hip injury, and he's been good this season. Like, again, he's 3.5 years older than Josh Jacobs. He made a whale of a catch on a really tough ball early in that game.
Yeah.
The other Aaron looking quite miserable throughout the course of this game from what I have seen. But, yeah, look, I mean, neither of us would have thought that the Vikings are who they appear to be. But now that they have done this, and we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. It's not over yet. But now that they have done this, I think we have to acknowledge, that Kevin O'Connell, much like Matt LaFleur, is a really good coach who's steeped in this offense that makes guys successful, gets guys open, and allows quarterbacks that maybe have not been super terrific, like Malik Willis and like Sam Darnold, to be successful. So they got a good defense. They got a really good defensive coordinator. And that's a good football team, a better football team than we would have thought as they were kind of going through a transition during the offseason. So I've been impressed with them. I was impressed with them last week. I was impressed with them while I watched the first half this morning. I'm not impressed with the Jets, and it is pretty apparent that you grew up a Jets fan, right?
Yes.
The dysfunction that seems to follow that organization around, and the unpleasantness that seems to follow the former Packers quarterback.
Well, that's the thing I still can't. You've never had the chance to talk to him about that specifically, right? As to why he would have chosen that one franchise, like when he talked about how important culture and all those things were to him, that he would choose the Jets of all the teams?
So that I have corresponded with him about. What I have not is what has kind of soured now, right? Like he was all in on Saleh, and I do find myself wondering, like, is it just no one can quite measure up for him?
No, I think it's like, don't you think it's everyone wants like kind of what they didn't have, and like McCarthy to LaFleur was so different, and then he had LaFleur, but Saleh's more like the fiery defensive alpha, like, don't you think there's some level of like I get to play under a guy like this now.
Yeah, I think he liked that idea, but now that he's experienced it, I think the way they handled his off-season absence when he went to Egypt really ticked him off. You saw that exchange with the aborted hug.
Oh, I don't think the hug thing was anything.
It just feels like to me that it's always something these days with him, right? I mean, that's how it feels to me. And it's just, maybe the hug thing isn't anything, but he's reached a point now where everything, even things that aren't something, feel like something. And that's never a good place to be. And so, even something simple today, obviously there was some sort of communication breakdown or, who knows, maybe it was just the headset shorted out briefly. But the way he's telling Nathaniel Hackett to call the play again, he's spinning his hand, and it gets faster and faster, and he looks more and more irritated as he goes. It's just that it just feels like it's always something. And maybe they rally and they win this game. I'm still not willing to count the guy out, and especially if they end up adding Devontae Adams. But it's just ugly over there. It's just not. It can't be fun to be a Jets fan.
Yeah, as they have another 3 and out and will be punting it away, or I guess they got it first down on the drive, but deep in their own territory, they'll be punting it away, down 10 points, and Aaron very, very slow to get up after he's hit on a third down play, grabbing his hamstring as he went down in serious pain. A drive after Sauce Gardner was walked into the back for some sort of further look.
Yeah, he's got a head injury from what I'm seeing on my notification.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron was twisted on top of. He was brought down on top of another Vikings player, so hit hard and then twisted on top of a player in serious pain. He is walking off the field on his own, but
Father Time, Craig.
This one looks really bad.
I don't know if I like the tone there, Kyle.
No, it is. Even after the touchdown pass, he threw a touchdown pass to Allen Lazard, and when he was coming off the field because he got hit at the end of the pass, he was coming off kind of gingerly as well. And we all know, even me in my mid-30s, I'm still not a spring chicken like I was 10 years ago, and even though Aaron Rodgers is an elite athlete, these hits and getting up, it takes a little bit longer. He does not look as spry as he used to. And he's 40. He's coming off an Achilles injury. Things just seem to probably hurt a little bit more than what they used to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, totally fair. But, obviously it's what puts it at a premium of limiting the hits you take and how you take them. And that one was an unavoidable one that was not good. This, by the way, it is a roughing the punter, and Aaron Rodgers is coming right back in. Baby. What do you say to Father Time now, Kyle Wallace?
He's still, look at him. He's trying. He's hurt.
Dude, he is not missing a play. So Aaron Rodgers helped off the field on third down. Then the Jets punted away on fourth down. They roughed the punter. Aaron Rodgers is not missing a snap. He was actually walking into the blue tent to get medical attention. He was one step from the blue tent, and he turned around the second this play happened. And Aaron Rodgers giving Brett Favre feels to all the Packers fans when they think back to moments like that. And it wasn't a concussion, so it's not like he's avoiding concussion protocol, but he avoids the blue medical tent to come in and hand the ball off on their first play, which then goes for a nice first down gain. So how about that for Jason, bringing you back to some of your Aaron Rodgers memories?
Yeah, he is. I will say this. He is tough. There's no doubt about it. He doesn't measure up to Favre just because of Favre's Iron Man streak, but that dude played through a lot of injuries too. Last time he was in London, he broke his thumb at the end of that game. I know you and Tausch were there against the Giants, and he just like Favre before him, steadfastly refused to come out of the lineup and kept playing through a fucking thumb.
One of the things that, kind of made that last season not as good, right? That he was so stubborn and kind of played through it. And I don't think we ever knew how badly he was injured out in London and how they lost that terrible game of the Giants and then back home against the Jets that followed. So, Jason, last night the Miami Hurricanes pulled out a win over Cal that felt a lot like the Packers game could have felt against the Vikings last week. I mean, you being there, were there moments where you felt like, I don't know, Jordan Love versus the Saints vibes, like where it's like, hey, they got down big, but it was so early and there's plenty of time and the crowd's rocking, like the Packers are going to win this game?
After LaFleur blew his stack at the officials for not honoring his timeout call, and then after the 15-yard penalty with Love hitting Reed and then Reed doing everything to get the crowd back into it at 28-7, I thought, okay, now they're going to go into the second half. They were getting the ball to start the second half. They ended up punting. But what I thought was interesting was that fourth quarter, they were within a score with like 10 and a half minutes still left in the game. And I thought, okay, now they're in exactly where they want to be. The Vikings, when you have you can build a big lead, but when it evaporates, you're the ones that are reeling. And so I thought maybe that the Vikings were in trouble. And look, they had the ball in their hands with an opportunity to really make a statement. And Love, of the 3 interceptions he threw, that was the worst one, was the one that he has pressure in his face coming from Harrison Smith, who blindsided Rodgers on a similar blitz earlier in this game. And he instead of taking the sack, instead of finding a place to throw it away at least, he kind of throws a Brett Favre up for grabs under pressure ball, and it gets intercepted. And that was kind of their window of opportunity. I know they cut it to 2 on another Wicks touchdown later, but man, they had every opportunity for that to be similar to the Hurricanes' comeback against the Golden Bears last night, for sure.
Yeah, talk to me about the criminally underrated.
Yeah, I'll say this, and
for those of you, the Romeo Dobbs Tausch stan, I'm a Romeo Dobbs stan, and Jason agreeing that he's criminally underrated. So just take us through what's gone wrong and what's happening, because it seems like he's the Jair Alexander of this year.
He's gotten the same suspension. He did not appoint himself captain, but so Tausch was giving me a hard time because I had said last year, or 2 years ago now, I guess it was, as a rookie, that Romeo Dobbs was the most even-keeled guy. Like, he just showed no emotion at all, like, at least with us. Like, his tone didn't even change when he would talk. And as I told those guys yesterday when we were in our text chain, like, maybe even-keeled was a euphemism, because he's a different guy. I don't want to use pejorative terms like weird or strange, because I don't pretend to know him very well. I don't think anybody that covers the team can say they know him. But, he is definitely different. And so when this happened, I was not completely floored, but the logic of it makes zero sense to me. I mean, I don't get it at all. So we're 4 games into the season. He has played more snaps than any wide receiver on the roster. He has been targeted 20 times compared to Reed and Wicks, who have been targeted 22 times each.
So he's right there. I mean, he's right there. Yeah.
Right. And Wicks, 22 targets, but 13 of them were in the last game alone, right? They played 2 games with Malik Willis at quarterback, in which, by the way, Romeo Dobbs was their leading receiver in the Colts game and had 2 really big plays for them, including one down the field ball that was a fantastic play. But they threw 33 passes in the 2 games that Willis started. I mean, Jordan Love threw 54 passes last Sunday alone. Like, so if 2 of your games were spent with your backup quarterback throwing an average of 16.5 passes in the 2 games, no one's getting targets, right? And then finally, and look, I'm not sure what his thought process was. I'm not sure who he talked to, if anyone, before he did this. But it's the week that he's going back to Los Angeles, his hometown. I saw Channel 58 in Milwaukee did a really good piece on his high school teachers and teammates being excited for him to come back. So that's another layer to this. But to me, the biggest thing that doesn't make sense is look at what Davante Adams did. Davante's obviously unhappy in Las Vegas. Now, he is far more accomplished than Romeo Doubs. But what did he do? Oh, my hamstring. Oh, my hamstring. I can't go. I'm not suggesting that faking an injury is better than what Romeo Doubs did. But what Romeo Doubs did put him completely in the jackpot on getting suspended.
So, but what did he do? What did he do? So did he just not show up and not tell them? Did he let people know? Like what actually happened?
He did not show up at Lambeau on Thursday. To the point that the team was, and this is Bill Huber did an excellent job getting this scoop. I would love to know his source on this because I can guarantee you the Packers did not want that out there. They were, I'm sure, hoping to suspend him on a Saturday and have none of us know why. And so he did not show up on Thursday to the point that the team, and did not communicate anything, to the point that the team was worried and did a wellness check on him. Like the staffers went to his home to see if he was okay, and he was there. He was okay. He was just apparently disgruntled. Then he didn't show up again on Friday, and that was when, remember, LaFleur said on Thursday after practice that it was a personal matter, did not give any more details. We asked him, well, is he going to be here tomorrow? And his answer was, well, I would hope so, which was an interesting answer. And then what do you think about him for Sunday? And his quote was, well, we'll see. We're taking it day by day. You knew there was something amiss, but not to the degree of him no-showing and not coming. And then he didn't come on Friday either. And that obviously, once he did that, set the wheels in motion for the suspension. I just don't understand what he's, A, thinking, but B, what his technique for demonstrating his dissatisfaction accomplished. Like, he scrubbed all his social media of any references to the Packers. Like, he's a different guy, and I don't understand him, and I really don't understand him now.
Right. And I guess we don't know necessarily what could be going on outside of football.
No doubt. No doubt. But here's the thing. Like, and look, I have not that long ago had a friend who had a pretty serious mental health crisis, and you worry obviously about that type of stuff. The fact that they went and did a wellness check on him and that he was fine, he just was unhappy, makes me wonder if what it is that caused him to go down this road. So I do not want to speak without any sort of sympathy for potential mental health challenges that he might be dealing with. But the bottom line is that from what others have said and what Bill Huber reported, it is just him being unhappy with his role on this team. And I'm struggling to understand how unhappy he could possibly be 4 games into the season with Jordan Love having missed 2 of those 4 games.
Truly a bizarre situation. By the way, just to update everyone, Aaron Rodgers drives the Jets all the way down the field. Garrett Wilson drops a pass on 2nd down. He throws a beautiful back shoulder to Allen Lazard in the end zone, who drops the touchdown on 3rd down. Jets kick a field goal. They trail the Vikings 17-10, 50 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. That should be an interesting one from London. We'll talk about the Packers' interesting one with the Rams as Jason Wilde continues. Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to The Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit.
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit. Sit.
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-count essential everyday spring water, $3.99. 45.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Arm & Hammer laundry, $4.99. 18.2 to 24.5 selected varieties Gordon's Fish, $4.99. 32-ounce selected varieties International Delight Creamer, 2 for $7.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, wow, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
You need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco on November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
They try to frame me for the pictures I paint. It's a crying shame.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Continue with Jason Wilde. So, Jason, I feel like no preseason real meaningful play means that September's the new preseason. We're supposed to know if teams are good by October. So are the Packers good, and are they on schedule, given obviously the Jordan Love injury threw them off schedule, but given where they finished last year, do they feel generally on schedule for where they're supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think the point you just made is the right one, that, the season is longer. I know it's only one game, but one more game, one more playoff berth, there's just more margin for error. So whether that margin for error is not playing well early in the season or, say, losing your quarterback for 2 games, even though remarkably the fill-in was able to win 2 games.
Remarkably, there's the only 2 games they've won.
Right, exactly. And so, I don't think defensively they're anywhere near what they think they can be. I think this game today is a colossal opportunity for them. The Rams offensive line is nicked up. They don't have Puka Nacua. They don't have Cooper Kupp. This is the kind of game that, and I want to keep quoting Homer, because Homer was the one who said this, that if you are who you think you are, this is the kind of game you win. And so this is the kind of game that they have to win, because that's, if they're as good as they think they're capable of being, this is the first step toward being that team.
I've been at the last 2 Rams games. I'm not pulling off 3 in a row, but I mean, they had no right beating the Niners and did, and then they pretty much dominated the Bears and had a bad turnover and had settled for field goals. But at the end of the day, even with this offensive line and no receivers, Kyren Williams has still been pretty effective, running the ball. And I think that is what I'm interested to see today is, can the Packers actually stop Kyren Williams?
Yeah, look, he's legit, right? I mean, he's a physical runner. He's been impressive so far. The problem is that I don't think their passing game and I don't think their offensive line is very helpful to him.
Oh, no, they're not at all. But he's still running the ball reasonably well.
Yeah, but that makes them largely one-dimensional. And look, I am probably more supportive or more positive about Matthew Stafford than others are. But Matthew Stafford, with the offensive line that he's currently behind, is, dare I say, something of a sitting duck. And it would seem that the way the Packers pass rush has been so inconsistent, that this is the kind of game, I thought it was interesting that Jeff Hafley chose to make kind of a bold prediction about how well he thinks Rashawn Gary is going to play today when we talked to him on Thursday. And you don't make those type of predictions solely based on, I want to, say something really positive publicly for my guy who's kind of taken some slings and arrows here. I think he probably said that because he's looking at this matchup going, all right, we can do to these guys what we did to the Tennessee Titans a couple weeks ago.
How about my great bold predictions from the kickoff of your season, including that Narveson would not miss a kick for the first 10 weeks? That one didn't work out very well.
Yeah, you nailed that one.
Yeah.
You were about as accurate as he's been.
Yeah. I did have I'd read double-digit touchdowns and the Packers having 50% more takeaways than they did last year, which they are on pace to shatter that mark
No doubt.
based on the takeaways. But what is going on with the kicker?
So it's interesting. There was a time where I was a decent golfer. Then I didn't play golf for about 20 years. I think the last time I played golf on a real course with real grown-ups was for Tausch's Trifecta Foundation thing, and you were there. And I played with Will Whitaker.
Yeah, I was in that foursome. That was not, or it may have been a fivesome, but it was your play did not. I believe you and Will Whitaker were tracking lost balls.
We were, yes, good memory, yes, indeed. So that is not my area, but golfers who know more about golf than I do at this point talk about how you always want a one-way. If you're struggling, you want it to be a one-way miss, because if you're spraying it all over the course, then you don't know what to fix, right? And in Braden Narveson's case, fascinatingly, he has a one-way miss. He has missed 5 kicks, including the one that was wiped out in Tennessee by penalty. All 5 have been to the right. And when they broke down the film, and frankly, when long snapper Matt Orzech looked behind him, upside down between his legs, he noticed this too, that his left plant foot is too wide and it's causing him to push the ball to the right. Now, it hasn't been every kick, but it has been on enough that all of these misses have done the same thing. Now, the question is, if you fix it, then this should be fine. But will you fix it sufficiently, or will you continue to do this because you keep doing this? As Braden Narveson admitted, he's not going to be employed here any longer because, as he said to us, other teams would have gotten rid of me by now, and the Packers haven't. But I don't. The problem is the other options out there aren't that appealing either. It's quite possible that the second best available kicker is Anders Carlson, and I don't think they're bringing him back.
Yeah. I mean, Narveson, the best thing he had going for him is that he wasn't there in camp, right? Like, I mean, if he was one of those other guys, like, it's like he's gotten more opportunities than each of them did. Well, today should be interesting. There's going to be a ton of Packers fans there. I mean, it's going to feel like a Packers home game, and you felt like Jordan Love got into a rhythm. So I think Homer's point's a good one, right? I mean, they should win this game given the state of the Rams and given this matchup right now. So I think we learn a lot about the Packers today.
Yeah, and especially Love, because like you said about a rhythm, this is a guy who, as Matt LaFleur kept saying all week long, you don't want to throw 50 passes in a game. And he's right. It means that you're not playing the game you want to play. But the fact that he got to throw 54 passes and shake off some of the rust and get into something of a rhythm in that fourth quarter, I do think that carries over when you're coming back from an injury. So I think that will help him in his process today.
And that means you think the Packers do win today?
I do. I will be surprised if they can't beat a pretty beat-up Rams team. And, again, if they don't have Jair Alexander, if they don't have Carrington Valentine, who are both questionable, that was a problem, obviously, against the Vikings and those two studs that they have at wide receiver. It would be a problem today if Puka and Cooper Kupp were healthy, but they're not. I don't think that will hurt them if either of those guys is out.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers throws one away out of his end zone, so the Jets will punt down 7, 13 minutes to go. Jason Wilde, you can listen to him, Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon, and follow him at Jason J. Wilde. Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
There he is. All right, what do we got, Kyle? We got the 7 at 11-11, or what do we got coming up?
We do have the 7-11 at 11 at 11-11.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you're firing at me?
You sure are guessing. And
All
I
right.
got something, I think I got something good here.
All right. Kyle just teased it. It's the 7 at 11 at 11-11 as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm joined by Dr. Rick Papandrea. What's the process when deciding if someone needs surgery or not?
The surgeons here are just that. We are surgeons, but all orthopedic surgeons evaluate a patient and attempt to get them better without surgery. And then we have other non-surgeons here as well. Everybody is coordinated to get people better. And if we can do that without surgery, great. It's typically the best way to get somebody better. But there are just certain injuries that won't get better on their own. They fail to get better without surgery, or they're clearly such that they need surgery.
Does someone's personal interest and feelings play into medical decisions?
We have to look at the patient and decide what's best for them. It's always good to ask the doctor, what would you do? But I always turn that back around and say, well, I'm not you. Let's look at what you need, because some patients may have the exact same sort of needs that I have, but what I need or what I think will work isn't always the best thing for the patient given their specifics.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Hey friend, ready for a sweet trip down memory lane? Head to the bake sale at Quick Trip. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got them. Baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale.
So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself. Only at Quick Trip.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Aside from a house or a car specifically, what is the most expensive thing you own? Wendy?
A car.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator. Name something that's better than being rich.
4. Besides a bird, something in a bird cage.
Hamster.
Something that comes with a summer storm.
Snow.
Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Rob!
Naked grandma!
Reason you might stay indoors on a beautiful day.
Because it's raining?
Name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony.
Yeah, a horse.
Name a time that most people get up.
In the morning.
A time most people go to bed.
At night.
This is the 7 at 11 on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
All right, it is your time to fire, my time to guess, and if you are listening, by the way, there's a great debate going on between Steven and Dave on our text on the text line.
The text line or the YouTube?
On the text line.
Wait, how are they debating with each other when they don't see each other's text?
Because I read Steven's, and then I read Dave's response, and now Steven's responded. So it started with Steven saying he disagreed with my take on the Brewers pitching, and then Dave saying Steven's off his rocker, Woody, Wade, and Gasser all aces out for the playoffs. Steven, LOL, Woodruff, Miley, and Gasser. They're not aces. An ace is Don Sutton or CC Sabathia or Zach Wheeler or Skubal. That's the problem, is we've been used to a plethora of average arms who can't be counted on come playoff time.
No, I agree, and I'm hoping that...
Whoa!
Come on now, Craig.
But you're
Zach
saying...
Greinke was an ace. CC Sabathia was
Zach
an
Greinke was not an ace with the Brewers.
Well, he was a good pitcher for the Brewers. Yes, he was.
Not in the postseason.
Most haven't been.
No, but the Brewers this year, most have been.
Craig, come on now.
I'm saying Devin Williams.
Devin Williams is not a starting pitcher. He is a stud.
I'm saying Devin Williams let the Brewers down, but their starting pitching is not why they lost in this postseason.
No, it's not why they lost. So I get.
Now you could say the argument could be, it puts so much stress on the bullpen that something's got to give. And you could say that if you just want to look back and say that they've lost and try to explain it, but it doesn't really. No, it's not logical. It's not like Devin Williams was overworked.
Craig,
it's not like
as you advance in the playoffs, that's when you want those ace pitchers that can go out there and pitch on 3 days rest or short rest in order to give you an opportunity to throw them out there and to win a football game. And I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the field goal kicker kicking field goals. Did he miss it or he made it?
No, he made it. Vikings lead 20-10. Vikings, another 50-yard plus field goal for the Vikings as they lead 20-10. Aaron Rodgers, 12 minutes and 7 seconds left to score 10 points and force overtime or more than 10 points and win the game for the Jets against the Minnesota Vikings from London.
All right, this 7-11, I think it's an easy list, but it's going to be a tough list as well because there's going to be names on here that I, as a Packers fan, where my Packer fandom didn't happen until the 90s, I do not know these names, but I do understand that folks who listen to Sunday Karma here every Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon, I say every Sunday.
Yeah, we're here a lot.
Sundays, most Sundays. And so they will know this list. Now, Craig, this is what I want to know. We talked about who should have a big game on Sunday. What did Jason Wilde say that Jeff Hafley said?
I wasn't paying attention.
Rashawn Gary. He said Rashawn Gary should have a big game, and we all been saying, where is Rashawn Gary? So this is what I want to know. I want to know the most sacks by a Green Bay Packer in Packers history. I want to know the top 7 sack leaders in Green Bay Packer history. You're going to knock out some of these, but some I feel like you may not know.
Are you talking about single season or career?
Career. Most sacks as a Green Bay Packer in their career. There's some names on here that definitely will be nostalgic for Packers fans.
Okay.
So, Craig, let me hear it. Who you got?
Let's go with Reggie White.
Yes, Reggie White. Of course he's on this list. Reggie White is actually number 3 on this list with 68.5 sacks in his career as a Green Bay Packer.
Okay, let's go with Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews, what number is he, Craig?
He is number 1.
Number 1 with 83.5 sacks in his career as a Green Bay Packer. So you have number 1 in Clay Matthews. You have number 3 in Mr. Reggie White. You are still missing 5 others on this list.
All right, let's go with Kabir Gbaja-Biamila.
Kabir Gbaja-Biamila. Talking about mental health. KBG, he's a beast. He also had 74.5 career sacks for the Green Bay Packers, which is good for number 2 on the list. So, Craig, you have 1 in Clay Matthews, 2 in Kabir Gbaja-Biamila, and 3 with Reggie White.
Okay. Number 4 is going to surprise people.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Go ahead.
And I'm not saying it's number 4, but my 4th guess is going to surprise people. But he actually put up enough sacks that I think he makes this list, which is Aaron Campman.
Come on now, you think he makes this list. Aaron Campman absolutely is on his list. Most of his career sacks probably came as a Green Bay Packer. Aaron Campman is number 5 on this list.
See, that's what I was saying. I didn't know if he was number 4, but I felt like he was on the list.
With 54 career sacks, the great Aaron Campman. Too bad he went down to Jacksonville. I think he tore up his knee or something. Or maybe he tore it here, one of the two, and that was it for his career. But you now have number 1, 2, 3, and number 5 on the list with Clay Matthews, Kabir Gbaja-Biamila, Reggie White, and Aaron Campman. Did I give you the bell? I'm trying the bell.
Yeah. This is where it gets hard for me.
Yes.
I also did not grow up here. I also... you said it's back in the day.
Well, no, I just there's
no.
guys on the list.
The guy that's coming to my mind is Bryce Popp.
Oh, Bryce Popp. That is a great guess.
Oh, you're saying it like he's not on the list.
Bryce Popp is on the list of players, but he's number 11 on the list. Actually, he's tied for number 10 on the list with 32.5 career sacks for Mr. Bryce Popp.
I had one other name that kind of that they're not a similar player at all, but like that feels like that era to me, and I was going to go with one of the two of those.
Don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't see. What are those? The 80s?
Yeah, like 90s, like late 80s, 90s.
Anything before 1992, I have no clue.
Okay, so that means you need to give us a call now to help me finish out the list. So I failed. What did I get? 4 out of 7?
You got 4 out of 7. This is a chance to win an ESPN Wisconsin t-shirt, whether Milwaukee or Madison. I believe we're still getting our t-shirts.
No, are we not on Beaver Dam?
Ooh, that's a great question, Greg.
Sad.
I need
that's
to ask
sad.
that. I don't know.
No, we're not. 800.
What the heck?
800-990 ESPN. It's 800-990-3776. Aaron Rodgers drilled again on a 2nd and 3 this time.
Do you think him and Davante Adams are realizing how good they had it here?
I think they're missing these days.
I mean, he's getting killed. Davante Adams is throwing.
But don't you think Aaron Rodgers realized it? Like he said that whole last year, he was appreciating every moment. He was like those last few years. I feel like he did appreciate
crushed. I told you, Davante Adams and the wide receiver. He was a baby. He was complaining. I've never seen him act that way.
Yeah, well, we got to. I need some help on this list. We are looking for 3 Green Bay Packers in history who've had enough to make this top 7 sack list. Reggie White, Clay Matthews, Kabir Gbaja-Biamila, and Aaron Campman are on the list. Bryce Popp was guessed incorrectly by me. We are looking for 3 more names. Top sackers, career sackers in Green Bay Packers history. Let's see what we got here. Let's start with Brian, who's in communication. You're on Sunday Karma. Morning, Brian.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I think I have 2 that probably are on that list. One would be Tim Harris.
Tim Harris was the guy that was my when I was deciding between Bryce Popp and Tim Harris. That's who I was deciding between, and he is number 4 on the list, 55 sacks, 1 more than Aaron Campman. Well done. Do you have another?
Yep. Yeah, he was a beast back in the day, definitely. I would go with Ezra Johnson, going to the early 80s, late 70s, but
Ezra Johnson, I would not have pulled at all. There was one other old school guy. I would have gone before him. Ezra Johnson, though, is number 7 on the list. Well done. 41.5 sacks. Nicely done. Oh, leaving only one player left on the list. You want to take a crack at it, Brian?
Oh, boy. Let's see here. I'm just wondering where we're going here. Nope, I'm out of yes.
All right, well done, Brian.
That's why I love the old school folk. I don't know who Ezra Johnson is or Tim Harris.
Let's go to Kevin, who's a bartender. You're on Sunday Karma, looking for one Packers player. Oh, now we got you, Kevin. That was my bad. Who do you have for us?
Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers, not a lot of seasons, but certainly had some impact in his season. He is number 19 on the list with 25 sacks. All right, we go to a guy who Kyle wanted to bring in studio for this guy's next appearance because he thinks this guy's a cheater. Don't you, Kyle?
Yeah, I think he may do a little Google search and a little peek.
All right, Chef Ed, who do you have?
See names of guys.
So now what, Chef Ed, going to try to get it wrong so you don't think he's cheating? I mean, how's this guy going to win?
I got something for Chef Ed.
Okay, all right, Chef Ed, who do you have for us?
All right, could you just go over the list one more time?
All right.
Yeah, I can go over the list for you. Number 1 would be Clay Matthews, the great Clay Matthews. Number 2 would be the great Kabir Bajabia-Miller. Number 3 is Reggie White. Number 4 is Tim Harris. Number 5 is Aaron Campman. And number 7 is Ezra Smith. We were missing Ezra Johnson. We were missing number 6 on the list.
So, Kyle, I was going to guess Ezra Johnson, but Sam, he guessed it already. I think you might have just gave me a clue, my friend, by your little stumble there. I'm going to say a guy that's still on an active roster, and he's probably still maybe collecting a few. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say Preston Smith.
Is it a shot in the dark, Kyle?
Hell no, it's not a shot in the dark.
What do you mean? It's wrong?
No, it's right.
Oh, it's right. Chef Ed's got it right again.
I want Chef Ed. Chef Ed, who do you think number...
oh, no.
I want top 10. Chef Ed, give me the top 10. What's the next one on the list? Preston Smith is number 6. Ezra Johnson is number 7. Who do you think is 8, 9, and 10?
Okay, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see, is Bryce Pop in there?
No, Bryce Pop isn't in there. He's tied for 10.
Yep, so he was.
How about Julius Peppers?
Oh, we just had.
Oh, he was just said. All right, let's throw Chef Ed on hold.
Dang it.
Kyle,
I think it's crazy. I knew he was gonna get it regardless.
You said the name.
I said Smith.
You said the name.
I said Ezra Smith. But he was gonna get it regardless. You know why? I'm telling you, he had the list. That's why he was ready for it. He was ready for it, Craig.
So if he was ready for it, why didn't he have number 8, 9, and 10? Or you think he was throwing you off the case?
He was throwing us off the case. I just knew it. The whole point of this, Craig, the whole point of me doing this list today was, do you realize what? I'm so upset at myself, even though I know he was going to get it anyways because he looked it up. But do you know that in 2019, the Packers signed Preston Smith and they drafted Rashawn Gary? Preston Smith, though he's more of a seasoned veteran, has more sacks in his career as a Green Bay Packer than Rashawn Gary, who is a big multi-million-dollar man.
Well, Rashawn Gary is 10th on the all-time list with 32.5 sacks, tied with Bryce Pop.
Behind Preston
he is
Smith.
11. I mean, and remember, Zadarius Smith was the bigger of the two, and he had 26 sacks in his time with the Packers. Oh, and there's an interception. A pass intended for Jordan Addison is intercepted by the New York Jets. And the Jets, with just under 10 minutes to go, give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers as Sauce Gardner's injury replacement makes the interception at the 40-yard line. So the Jets in Vikings territory, maybe the Vikings not so fast are going to 5-0. Packers former quarterback Aaron Rodgers will come into the game now down 2 scores, trying to lead the Jets back against the Minnesota Vikings. We'll have that and more as we roll on. It's Sunday Karma, and we'll see if Steven and Chad, by the way, texts in. Listen to this one, Kyle. Chad texts in. Don't worry, Craig. Chef Ed has the list up. He'll finish it up. Called it. This man is such a cheater. Chad is on the Kyle Wallace. Chef Ed is a cheater. We have said we will get Chef Ed in studio. He has not ducked from this, Kyle. You have not followed through on this yet.
Yeah, when do we
right? We can figure that out off the air.
I'm gonna figure it out. I know we got some days.
So he's not ducking us. So Chef Ed has not done anything wrong. All he's been is a loyal supporter of this show, and he's being mocked by you and other people when the guy just knows his stuff.
Dang, I'm so mad at myself. I'm so disappointed.
Just keep giving away the answers and then accusing people of cheating. That's really a good way to do it, Kyle.
You know, to kick a guy when he's down.
All right, we'll talk more Brewers and football with you. We haven't mentioned the Badgers and their win over Purdue yesterday. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be.
Kringle
I think his
turnover.
legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys being
turnovers.
serious? You guys can't put two and
I
two
got
together.
it. I could not get it when you first
They don't
said
call
it.
themselves Racine Danish
I'm
turnover.
sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Go to the head of the class on your next vehicle purchase exclusively at the Kunis Auto Group's Back to School sales event.
Good morning, class.
Expect a straight A passing grade when you add up the savings on your next vehicle from the automotive scholars at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC, all marked down with September back-to-school discounts and savings. We're also offering incredible back-to-school discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of back-to-school service specials on everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with a test driver purchase each week in September, 4 lucky winners will win free gas for a year. All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships in both Oak Creek and Greenfield. It's the Kunis Auto Group's exclusive September back-to-school sales event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit.
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit. Sit.
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away, and once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LoTUSA.com.
On the track. Horses don't stop, they keep going. Yeah, you can lose your life, but it's gonna keep going. Why not risk life when it's gonna keep going?
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Green Bay game day coming up in a half hour. Alex Strofe, John Anderson, Brian Bulaga. That is a crew. Garrett Wilson with his 10th catch for 75 yards in the London game sees the Jets inside the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal. Aaron Rodgers looking to bring the Jets within 3 points.
Is Braylon Allen a goal line back for them now?
Braylon Allen gets a lot of the goal line carries. Garrett Wilson is interfered with in the end zone, so now it will be 1st and goal at the 1. Interesting to see if Breece Hall or Braylon Allen. I would guess both will be in the game.
Get a ball to Breece. He's my running back.
I'm not playing against you, though, right? No, I'm not.
Yeah, different league.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not trying to lose to you like I did. I already lost to you this year.
You got boat raced.
Yeah, you crushed me.
Yeah.
All right. So
still in the game.
Lots of things to get. By the way,
shotgun on the goal line. Come on. What are you going to motion Braylon back in? Ain't no way. Let me stop saying I shouldn't talk.
Four wide receivers wide for the Jets. First and goal from the 1. Aaron with all the time in the world, and he does, in fact, hit Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers have had a lot of trouble figuring things out.
Stat pad for Mr. Rodgers?
But they do there. That's Aaron Rodgers' 2nd touchdown of the game. He has 2 interceptions as well. And Garrett Wilson, who, as I mentioned, has had a lot of short catches today. Now 11 catches, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Jones is out of this game with a hip injury.
Oh, what a shocker.
The Vikings.
Aaron Jones hurt again?
Dude, don't be a hater.
I'm not a hater. I said it's shocking, right? Aaron Jones is hurt? Man, who would have thought?
You are rude.
I'm not rude. I enjoy Aaron Jones. I'm a big fan of Aaron Jones, but it just seems to me that every single, September, October, Aaron Jones is missing a game for something. That's his yearly tradition, and I love him. He's a great running back. He just, gets hurt, and that happens. It's the NFL.
Minnesota Vikings up 17-0 have seen the Jets battle back 20-17, 6:04 to go in the London game. As we said, Packers late afternoon game, so Green Bay game day with Strophe, John Anderson, and Bulaga, and a cast of characters. Many people will be in the mix, as you know, on that. Always the best way to get you ready for any Green Bay Packers game.
Can I ask you something really cool before you transition? The Packers lost to the Vikings on Sunday. Are you concerned about the Vikings or the Packers? Do you feel like the Packers are not going to win the division because they lost to the Vikings and they're 2 games back from the
That's
Vikings?
Exactly what I was going to transition to, by the way.
Wow, look
so
at that.
We were both,
great minds.
We don't talk at all during the break, but that's exactly what I was going to transition to, which is it's almost at the quarter pole of the season where you could start looking at things, and I think the way the division is shaping up right now is not what we would have expected, right? We would have expected the Vikings to be at the bottom. We would have expected the Lions or Packers to be at the top.
That's true.
We did expect this to be a competitive division. If you would have said all the teams would have been 500 or better, I think maybe you could have bought into that. But I think people thought the Bears would be better than the Vikings.
I'm not people. I'm Kyle.
Yeah, you didn't think the Bears were going to be that bad.
I thought the Bears were a 7-win team probably this year.
Right, so they were 7 wins last year, and they still might be a 7-win team. But to be 2-2 isn't that big a surprise for a 7-7 team.
I mean, the Rams got hurt, so
yeah, I'm saying. But I mean, you would have also thought the Bears maybe could have beat the Colts in the game they lost. Like, right, that game could have gone. I mean, where they are is not that surprising. I think the one team that surprises you is the Vikings, right? I mean, the Packers at 2-2 isn't stunning, right? I mean, we thought the Packers could lose to the Eagles, which made sense. I don't think we thought they were going to lose home. You know, I don't think we thought they were going to lose home to the Vikings, but I think we thought they'd lose at Titans without with Malik Willis as the quarterback.
Yeah, we were questioning it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm saying the fact that the Packers are 2-2, like, I think everything's kind of like where it should be. Like Jordan Love, I don't think you would expect him to be completely sharp given the lack of reps that they had, in live action in preseason games, and then the fact that he missed, 2 weeks, right off the top after that first game. So I think the Packers are right where they should be, and I think the defense is underrated right now.
Oh, underrated.
Yeah, because
expound on that one.
I think they are taking the ball away in non-fluky ways. I think they're making the right, meaningful plays.
So there is this concern, because I do think the defense is going to continue to show themselves and establish themselves. But to say they're underrated when they face a capable quarterback, and this year Sam Darnold has shown to be a capable quarterback, and when you go against Jalen Hurts, who was capable against you but has been incapable since his receivers.
Well, his receivers, yeah, exactly.
And so... But that's when the Packers have defense has not shined, right? Right now they're front runners and somebody who can harass a quarterback that is still trying to find themselves. But against guys like a Sam Darnold having a great season, a guy like Jalen Hurts who,
But how much of that was the defense being put in bad spots by turnovers in the offense?
I think it more so was defense being put in bad spots.
That's what I'm saying.
Play caller, but not so much.
That's why I'm saying I think the defense is underrated right now. I think what they're doing is better than what just like the total results look like.
I mean, they couldn't get pressure rushing 4 last week at all. Sam Darnold was just standing back there picking us apart.
Yeah, the Vikings have a good offensive line. Yeah. That's their thing. Like, I mean, the Vikings are 4-0 and all that. And you're saying Sam Darnold picked them apart. Like, when they're healthy, like, he's done that, right? Like, that's.
But you got, in the D line, you got Kenny Clark. You paid a lot of money. You got Rashawn Gary. Somebody get home without having to bring more pressure.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, if there's any team that surprised me, it's the Lions. And the Lions have not looked as good as they should, you would think, Craig, they should be.
I agree.
I think the Lions look really beatable. They lost that game against the Buccaneers where they did not, show up. But then you also have, they went to overtime against these Rams, who were healthier then. They barely beat the Cardinals, and then that Seahawks game, they couldn't stop the Seahawks. The Lions offense looked great, and Jared Goff hasn't thrown an incomplete pass in like a month.
Yeah.
So they're doing some impressive things, but their defense is not what we thought it was going to be, I think. So I'm definitely not scared of anyone in this division.
I think what we see is, as a Packers fan and as somebody who's cheered on the Packers and been in Wisconsin long enough, is that we're used to seeing an ascension of a team, right? We're used to seeing the Green Bay Packers get better, right? Take that next step. And with the Detroit Lions going from taking, the steps to get towards success, where last year they finally broke through and made it to the NFC Championship, you would think that this would be the year that they would look dominant, right? And I think that's the lack of the dominancy that we have not seen from the Lions, that we have grown accustomed to see from the Green Bay Packers when they start taking those steps in the right direction.
Ernie in a barn says, if Chef's Ed is so good at the 7-Eleven where he can't use his laptop, why can't he be Ben at Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust when he can't look up the answers?
Craig, do you know he's terrible at that? And Chef Ed said he didn't cheat today, so I shut out. I said the last name Smith. I eat that.
Chef Ed says to everyone who says I'm a cheater, wah, I'm the biggest winner in Good Karma Brands history, over $1,000 in prizes. And Chad's just jealous that I've cooked for the Packers, Bucks, and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee personalities. Signed, Chef Ed. 800-990 ESPN.
Craig, you're so messy.
800. What?
You messy. Yeah, the only person that can see that is you and I. You putting everybody out there. You got a beef going right now. I like that.
What do you mean? I mean, people aren't texting for us. They're texting for. I mean, they don't text. They're not texting my personal phone.
We don't have a show next week.
Wait,
do we?
you're like I'm messy. I'm not taking my personal text. We give a text line for people to communicate with the show, Kyle. That's how it works.
I mean, you could overlook some stuff, but I like this. I like the drama. I can't wait till Chef Ed comes in person. We're going to get this hooked up, Chef Ed.
800-990-ESPN. That is the number to call or text. 800-990-3776. An incomplete pass from Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the game will bring on a Vikings field goal attempt. That is a 20-17 lead. Field goal makes it 23-17. So Aaron Rodgers, assuming there's no turnover or unexpected play, will get the ball with a chance to score a touchdown, win the game in London in the final 3 minutes as the Vikings lead it 23-17, 3:07 to go. Jets and Aaron Rodgers to receive kickoff, the dynamic kickoff coming up as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is October 13th. If your family is interested in becoming part of the CMH tradition, make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 13th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. As the only school awarded the Exemplary Award for Academic Excellence by the Archdiocese, find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet faculty and coaches, learn about all the clubs and extracurricular activities. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices reminds you that you only pay if you win. Gruber Law Office has become a part of this city like any other tradition. You can't go around the city without seeing a One Call, That's All t-shirt, without seeing David's face, whether you're at a big game or a big event. So if you or a loved one is ever injured, do what I do. Make sure they know it's not just a marketing slogan. It's a way of life. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member of the Neal Group. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but didn't because their accounting records were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million when you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Or you thought sales were down, but they were up, and you didn't notice because you were so busy putting out fires. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to develop systems and procedures to improve their business and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or at your place of business. Yes, we make house calls. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different?
A very unique factor I think that we have at our group is that every single surgeon here is fellowship trained, meaning everyone has gone through specialty training in their specific area of focus. So if you come to get your knee replaced or if you come to see me and get your shoulder done, every single person that you come and see has specific advanced training in that field.
You mentioned that your specialty is shoulders. Shoulder issues can be complicated. How do you approach your patients?
Shoulder injuries are incredibly common with either young athletes or especially as people age, people develop shoulder issues, whether it's rotator cuff issues, arthritis. So we can get a sense of it ahead of time based on what their exam is like, what their MRI is like, what they're doing in therapy. But you're right, there's a wide breadth of surgeries that luckily we have a vast array of treatments for.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a carbless in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime. And classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbless at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbless. Less is more.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Me and my go north, give a about this party. We gon' step on record. Get my coin and swipe that.
You know what this is?
Making moves, being on.
No.
Glorilla? I got hands for.
I know who Glorilla is, and I know. Let's not. Now you're talking about putting people's stuff out there that. Did you just say Dame's girl?
It's not.
Someone who you're saying publicly has expressed interest in him?
Yeah.
Okay, that
she claimed him.
Expressing interest in someone is very different. Guy has young kids. Like, come on now, that is crossing a line.
No, isn't he single?
Saying Dame's girl.
Oh, we joke around.
Like, that's like if you're saying Craig's girl.
Yeah.
I'm single. Like, I have kids. They're hearing things. People are like, hey, I heard, like, Glorilla is Craig's girl now. Right? And so then my daughter's walking down the hall at school and being like, oh, I heard Glorilla is your girl now.
I mean,
like, I don't want Dame and me being linked to people like that.
I think you
and anyone.
It would be a good come up for you if you had Glorilla as a girl, right? And what? She was yours.
I don't speak of women as possessions.
Okay. Well, listen, I possess mine. That's mine.
Oh, come on now. That's between you and yours. Chad says, wow, maybe next time Chef Ed needs to answer 2 "Are you smarter than Ben" questions in order to complete your list.
That's a good question. So, do you understand this "Are you smarter than Ben Brust" thing?
I mean, I've heard the segment, and
so Chef Ed has competed against "Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?" You can hear that every Tuesday on KBN at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. And so Chef Ed has competed against Ben, and when he doesn't compete against Ben, he sends in what his score is. He says, I got a 12 on that one. I got a 15, or I got all this. But whenever he competes against him, he gets like a 2 spot.
Oh, okay.
2 or 3. But every time he texts in, he said, I got 12, I got 11, I got 13. I
all right, so that extends the lack of belief in Chef Ed, which is as he won our 7-11. Is this our last segment, by the way?
We have one more segment.
Wait, we have a break and then
we do have a break.
Oh, wow. All right. Speaking of which, Aaron Rodgers has crossed midfield. He's hit Alan Lazard on back-to-back passes to get the Jets down to the Vikings 42. Minnesota Vikings sitting at 4-0 on top of the NFC North. If remember, the Lions have a bye this week, right? The Lions and Eagles are off with the byes. So in any scenario, the Vikings will still end this week in first place, but a loss here would be pretty big. Oh, Aaron just had a sick ball fake and then tried to hit Garrett Wilson, which would have been a brilliant touchdown pass. 1:31 to go. All right, we'll come back with the close of what's going on in this Vikings game, and then we'll also give you our Palermo's picks and break down this week's NFL action as Week 5 is finally here. And the Brewers season is over way too soon. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
Go to the head of the class on your next vehicle purchase exclusively at the Kunis Auto Group's Back to School sales event.
Good morning, class.
Expect a straight A passing grade when you add up the savings on your next vehicle from the automotive scholars at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealership. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC. All marked down with September Back to School discounts and savings. We're also offering incredible Back to School discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of back-to-school service specials on everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with a test driver purchase each week in September, 4 lucky winners will win free gas for a year. All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships in both Oak Creek and Greenfield. It's the Kunis Auto Group's exclusive September back-to-school sales event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Lowe, Dobbs, Watson, Reed, and now Josh Jacobs? Football season is back, baby. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice-cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard-to-find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
At Fleet Farm, we're serious about offering whatever you need at the best prices guaranteed. Big things, little things, everything. Like Diamond Solar Salt for only $4.79 a bag. Or 25 pounds of black oil sunflower seed for $9.99. And 40 pounds of Litter Delight cat litter is on sale now for just $8.99. As always, if you happen to find it for less, we'll match it. So stock up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. All at the best prices guaranteed.
Using gas to heat our homes can be dangerous, but we have the technology to transition to clean electric alternatives. My name is Matt Vespa. I'm a senior attorney at Earth Justice, and I'm going to court to fight for clean energy. Until safe, affordable clean energy is an option in every home, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, it is Palermo's Picks. And speaking of picks, the Palermo pick of the week goes to Stephon Gilmore, who is the third recipient of an Aaron Rodgers pass on the Minnesota Vikings defense. His interception locks up the Minnesota Vikings' 5th win of the year. Vikings go to 5-0. Jets lose and fall to 2-3. Vikings get it done. Palermo's Pizza. I'm gonna go with a little Surfer Boy pizza today. I have a little pepperoni one in the fridge, in the freezer. Very excited for that. Also excited to be joined by Alex Stroh of Green Bay Game Day coming up soon.
Morning, Craig. My mic on, would you? There we go,
There
Kyle.
we go.
That's a producer.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Good morning,
to get
Craig.
this thing V-Mix.
How, first of all, forget about this game today. How are we feeling about Friday?
I'm very excited to watch you do this. Now, my understanding is you have done the research, and you think you can get it done in 6 hours?
No. I'm starting at 11 a.m.
Okay.
So I will be at George Webb. I am paying off last year's Cover 5 bet. Everyone's invited to watch on YouTube or attend. We'll have remotes going on. You can all be there, though, and stop by and see me at George Webb. I'm starting at 11 a.m. My goal is to finish at 7 p.m. I have to sit at that George Webb for 24 hours unless I eat a pancake or a waffle. Each time I eat one of those,
That's 16 of them.
I lose an hour. Right. So if I eat 16 pancakes between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., then I'm out of there 16 in 8 hours. Now, when I look on Reddit and online, people have done this.
16.
They say you can't do that.
Yeah, no.
They say that's not really possible. Your stomach can't digest
But you think
at that
you're
level.
capable of it?
No, I don't. But that's
Okay.
what I'm targeting.
I appreciate the honesty.
I mean, Yom Kippur starts Friday at
Right.
sundown. Now, I fast for 24 hours. If I need to start at midnight and go midnight to midnight, that's between me and my faith, right? So I'm not worried about I have to do it by 6:15 by sundown.
Got it. Tweak the rules however you need.
Yes,
Now,
I'll tweak those rules.
I know it's disgusting, but have we discussed the idea of what happens if you throw up, Craig? Do we reset the clock?
No.
This isn't healthy.
No, I'm not going to push it that hard, right?
You just said you think you can do 16 of them.
Well, what I've heard is that if you roll up the pancakes and dip them in water, that's the
So you're
way
gonna
to
Joey Chestnut this?
to do 2 an hour that way. Yeah, to take a pancake, kind of do it in a roll, dip it in water, and that's the best way to kind of have it coated as it goes down your stomach. Wait, what are you on, Craig?
Joey
Kyle?
Parmesan.
Oh,
Kyle.
he's trying to look for ways. I have plans on. I'm disappointed that you moved it up, but it is what it is. I understand your faith, and so I got to go before, and I can't go after to see you.
Oh, you're going on a boat?
I am. It's 79 degrees.
Fancy boat, Kyle. Kyle, it could be oh, Kyle, Glorilla wants to meet you. No, I'm going on a boat.
Nah,
just to throw Glorilla in your mix.
I want to make friends with people like that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Hey, when are you going to invite the show you host?
I already tried that.
Pretty decent producer that would love to join you on the boat.
I already tried it.
Craig, you gotten the invite?
I already tried. I'm
not going on a boat.
See,
Why not?
that's what he said. My boat's too normal for him. He only goes on boats with yachts. He doesn't go on boats.
I'm not a boat person.
You're
I
a
don't.
yacht person.
I don't get the. I don't get. No.
Yacht guy.
No, I don't get the point of boats.
What do you mean you don't get the point of boats?
I don't
what
get
kind
the
of
point.
statement is that?
I don't get the point. What do you do on the boat that you can't do off the boat?
You go on water. You have a good time.
No, I get if you're going on a cruise and you're going to a different city. But I don't understand what the point of going on a boat is.
Up and down the river, stopping, at the great establishments
Have
that we
you
have
lost
in
touch
downtown
with reality?
No. If I go on a Wave Runner and I want to go and I'll go there and then I go have lunch at a place on the river. To me, that's cool because there's a destination in mind.
That's what you do. You go.
But being just on the boat, to me, is the most overrated thing, I think.
But he'll stop at a restaurant, little dockside bar.
Right. I mean, which is fine, but sitting on the boat, I'm saying it's fine,
If
but so is
Glorilla
sitting off the
rented
boat.
a yacht here, and she invited you. I bet you'd be on that dang yacht.
I'm
Ding,
saying
ding, ding.
no. I don't. I'm saying sitting off the boat to me is just as good. You're around people, you're having fun. I think the boat just brings a lot of maintenance and other issues into play that are unnecessary.
Easy yes or no question.
Yeah.
Glorilla invites you on a boat here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You're saying yes.
No.
You're a liar.
I'm not going with Glorilla on a boat.
Come on, Craig.
No.
Come on, Craig. I would.
Only if Harper says it's okay.
There you go.
Oh, well, she would definitely want to go.
All right. Green Bay Game Day is coming up next. Getting you ready for the Packers game. Who you got? You got Brian Bulaga. You got John Anderson.
John Anderson, Jason Wilde, Rob Domowski.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle. You've been listening to Sunday Karma. ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
Love roller coaster, loop around in the zone. Love roller coaster, up and down, pretty strong. Just like gold, I'm already